Because if we know that the Old Testament existed, that it was there in the form that we have it today, before Christ was born, in fact decades before Christ was born, then we can take as historically true the fact that the prophecies about Christ in the Old Testament must have been made before Christ was born. And that's the important thing for our faith. We can take the Old Testament as being full of prophecies about Christ, because it is. There are hundreds of them, and they were all complete and all in written form long before the birth of Christ. And that's the point I want to make to you this afternoon. I'm not going to go into this in any more detail, but just to say we have this historical evidence that shows the Old Testament was complete before the Lord Jesus Christ was born. And so all of those prophecies about him, we have to account for how they can have been made, if not through a divine inspired hand. So that increases our faith in God, I suggest, by knowing that the Old Testament existed in this form and knowing that these prophecies must have been inspired by God. For how else can we account for the accuracy of them? That this baby would be born in Bethlehem, that it would be around a certain time frame, and that all that was written about him would come to pass, and even the way he lived his life and the way he would die on the cross. All of these things were predicted before his birth. So that's a really important starting point for looking at the accuracy and the reliability of the Old Testament.